I think that's the best look I've ever had. The last thing I want to do is step back up there any worse than I've just presented. I want to give you guys better.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. After watching James Hollingshead's recent YouTube video, it is very much evident that he won't be competing in France this coming weekend. He was extremely satisfied with the look that he brought to the Arnold UK, but he thinks if he rushes the process of jumping back on stage, he won't be able to duplicate that. Rest assured, James is gonna compete sooner or later to earn his Olympia qualification for this year. There are plenty of shows still left.
But I'm not going to lie, like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing yet, because the in-between shows, I need a little bit of reset time, because I can't just immediately switch back on. I could, but I don't think it's beneficial.
So, that makes Patrick Johnson the favorite to win that show. Lionel Beyeke is obviously mentioned in the list. People were tagging him under the post, but there has been no official version whether he will compete or not. I mean, you can't have a visa issue in your own country, so fans expect an honest clarification from him. Even if Lionel does show up, will he be good enough at 41 years old to beat a guy like Patrick Johnson, who was primed for the Arnold Classic UK? Well, we do not even know if he's gonna show up. As for Marc Hector, the plan remains the same. Win his first pro show and qualify for the Olympia. He isn't doing France, he is doing Tsunami Cup in Italy next month. He clearly missed his peak in UK. If we look at the comparison pictures from 2020 versus 2022, yes, he is bigger now, but he had so much more detail in 2020. The midsection control wasn't as tight as it used to be, so coming in 27 pounds heavier than his last showing was a big mistake in my opinion. I'm sure we will see a much sharper version of him in Italy. William Martins from Brazil is also prepping for Tsunami Cup, a real mass monster of the modern times. He brought such a great package at the Arnold Brazil. He has a killer most muscular shot and some side shots as well. His worst shot might be the front double because of that wide waist. Him and his coach Chris Aceto have been fighting hard to correct that. Interestingly, both Legion Sports and Tsunami Cup are being held on the same date. For now, two names stand out, and it's very much likely more names will be added as we get closer to the show. Tonio Burton has his eyes set on Legion Sports for a long time now. He has already competed 3 times in this season. In fact, his first show was Cali Pro back in May. When someone preps for a long time, it's always difficult to hold on to that condition. According to Tonio, that is the best he has ever looked 2 weeks out of the show. I think he has some good standing on points table. He was runner-up at Chicago Pro, 3rd place in Cali Pro, so there is also a possibility of making it to the big stage on points. Stanimal is a guy who has been making steady progress throughout the year. Not only is Stan bigger, he is also in a great condition at 2 weeks out. His body is fresh, so I'm sure he is gonna peak 100% for the show, considering he has a great coach watching over him. He guest posed at 4 weeks out of Legion and brought a really full look. That was appreciated by everyone. Stan had a long off season because the last time he competed was in December of 2021. His aim is to get back on stage roughly 7 to 10 pounds heavier than last year. I am surprised why Sergio Oliva Jr. didn't choose to compete in some of these smaller shows. He is bigger than most of these guys. He looked great in 2020 when Rami, Dexter, and William Bonac, three of the best bodybuilders, were competing at the Arnold Classic that year. I believe William Bonac won that show and Sergio cracked top 5. He is eating big, and although he is traveling these days, he is taking care of the business of bodybuilding as usual. I mean, if Sergio was in his 20s or early 30s, then skipping an entire year could have made sense. He will soon be turning 38, so that window is closing for him. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.